Hey everyone, it's Baris here. Hope you're doing well. I'm super excited today because, as you can see, I've got the quad Cortex from Neural DSP. Some of my followers already may know that I've been using this device for 2 months already, but I didn't shoot a video after I got it immediately because, there are lots of possibilities that you can do with these kind of devices. So I wanted to make sure that I'm able to tell you every detail, every important detail about this device. And now we're ready. So let's start then. Okay, without waiting for the end of the video, I would like to thank the entire Neural DSP team, especially Doug, Francisco, and Max for bringing this device to me. And I'm using all the plugins that they've created, and the pandemic process destroys all of our motivation, and this kind of supports encourage us to make music and create something. So thank you guys. This device has been announced and promoted for a long time. However, the production process took a little longer, and people were impatient, and me too. But it's finally here, and today what I want to do is show you my impressions and some of the basic features of this device. In case you don't know what kind of device it is, if you're familiar with the devices like Kemper, XFX, or Helix, I think the quad Cortex can be put that category too. This is a modular, and these devices usually have a great processing power. It's a kind of computer, and there are lots of amps in it, there are lots of cabs, all the effects, and if you couldn't get the sound that you want to hear, then you can capture your own amps, your own pedals, and you can use them wherever you go and whenever you want. I think what appeals to me about this device is its dimensions. As you can see, it's really compact, almost the same size as my MacBook, and the build quality is amazing. This is a floor modular, and as I said before, it's a kind of computer with a touch screen. It's important that it is more robust than an analog pedal. So, it feels really premium, and it's something like using an Apple device. We have a big touch screen here, which makes it very usable, as you can see. And these kind of devices usually controlled by an amp on the computer because the buttons on them are not so convenient. But I think it's really easy to use this one only with this touch screen. I couldn't pass without mentioning these rotary switches. And I didn't see these switches on any pedal. And I think it's brilliant. It will be so hard to tweak the knobs only with the touch screen, and these are really solid and works really accurate. So let's talk about the inputs and the outputs. So we have lots of them. We have two combo inputs here. We have two TS or TRS inputs, send and return, two send and return inputs. We have a headphone output here and a capture out. We also have two XLR outputs, and we have MIDI in and MIDI out. It has an USB out. Some of you already may know that it works like an audio interface. So I'm sending all the audio to my DAW via this USB here. I don't know that you can see, but it's here. It can also send the signal to my FRFR monitor with these XLR outputs here. It's also pretty easy to set all these input and output levels. When I scroll down the screen, as you can see, I can reach all the input and output settings and easily adjust their level with the switches or by touching the screen. And we can also easily select the output of the signal from the end of the grid here, and you can choose different outputs for each grid. This can be used for different situations. I think we're ready to take a look how this device sounds like. I'll start by choosing an amp and a cap first. So just click on the point I want to add, and as you can see, here we have a bunch of guitar amps. There are many options here, and the guys from Neural DSP are increasing the number of these with updates day by day. But the other thing to remember is that, this is a floor modeler, as I said. So if you don't like the options in this list, then you can profile your favorite amps or pedals, or you can download the captures from Cortex mobile application made by other users. It's great because you can access the things that you don't currently have. I'm gonna choose Freeman 100 lead. I think it sounds good. So I'm gonna choose a cap 4x12, and plus I'm gonna add a room reverb to get a little white sound. I don't like so dry sound. So I think that's perfect. Let's have a look how it sounds. Yeah, I think it sounds perfect, but I'm gonna change the settings a little bit. These are the controls that we have on the amp. If I want to adjust anything on this pedal, I can do that with these rotary switches. It's really easy to use. I'm gonna push the gain a little bit, and let's turn it up. The volume, I think it's here. Okay, I think it's perfect. So let's hear how it sounds. Okay, let's go to a different cap. As you can see, it's easy to navigate and you don't feel any lag while using it. So I'm gonna choose 2x12 Zilla Fatboy. I love how it sounds. And you can adjust the positions of mics in the same way in real life, And we have a bunch of microphones here, and if you want to use your own impulse responses, it's possible to choose from here and you can upload them to your Neural account. So let's see how it sounds. Yeah, as you can see, it's really easy to create a signal chain by touching only. It's something like using a smartphone. Okay, now I'm going to try something else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to capture one of my pedals. This is a clone pedal, clone of Senzamp GT2. It's a kind of triple Senzamp, and when I get the sound that I want to hear, then I'm going to plug it into the quad Cortex and capture and compare. So let's see how is it going to be. Now this is my DI guitar signal. And this is the pedal. I think it's already fine. So let's plug it into the quad Cortex and capture. The menu, new neural capture. As you can see, the quad Cortex guides you very well on how to capture, and I'm sure everything connected right. The only thing that I have to do is set my input gain levels from here and then press start capture. Okay guys, the capture is complete and I think it took about 4 minutes. So let's see how close we got to the real tone. Now I'll start with the pedal itself. So it's the pedal. And this is the neural capture. The pedal. The neural capture. As you can see, it's really close and I think it's perfect, never disappointed. Yeah, I know there's a slightly difference than the pedal itself, but the funny thing is that I think the neural capture is better than the pedal itself. I don't know what you think, but it's my opinion, you know. And we also have a chance to make some adjustments on the capture block, but first I'm going to save this capture and then I'm going to put it into a preset, then tweak the knobs a little bit to get exactly the same sound with the pedal. Let's add it to the grid first. Click neural capture. By the way, as you can see here, there are lots of captures which is made by neural DSP, and my captures, SansAmp. If I click on the capture block, it brings me some knobs to make fine adjustments here. I'll reduce the gain a little bit. I think it's perfect, so let's see. And I'm gonna change the reverb. Whole reverb. And I'm gonna add a delay before the reverb, digital delay. And I think it needs a noise gate at the very beginning, so utility, adaptive gate, not so much. I think it's perfect. Now I will tell you a little about how we can switch presets, effects and settings in this unit. As you can see in the top right, I'm currently in preset mode, so each of these switches allows me to switch to a different preset in this bank. So I'm in bank 3 now. This is 3C, 3B, which we created, Sans and Prox, 3A, which is empty. So if I switch to the bank 1, for example, this is 1A, live performance, 1C, plenic range and aggressive. So as you can see on the screen, these are the banks that we have, and you can create 10 playlists here. Each one of these playlists have 32 banks, and each bank have 8 presets. However, what I want to do right now is to make some transitions in this preset. So in order to do that, I switched the scene mode from here. If you don't want to touch the screen to do that, pressing those two switches at the same time bring you to the next mode, which is scene mode. You know, it's a good alternative for a live situation. Here we have a capture that I've done before, which is plenic range G7. G7 means that it's gain at 7. Then there is a reverb and a delay block, but as you'll notice, these time-based effects are bypassed for now. Let's say I'm in the solo section and I want to activate the reverb and the delay with, for example, a higher gain, and I want to increase the volume a little bit. I switch to the scene B. Let's start to tweak it. First, I'm gonna activate the reverb and the delay. I'm gonna push the gain a little bit. I think it's enough. And the volume, 3 dB. I made the changes and it automatically assigned to this scene. This is scene B. If I switch back to scene A, take a look at the gain knob, you can see that the gain value changes when I switch between two different scenes. When I switch to the scene B, whole reverb and delay are active. When I switch back to scene A, all these are turned off and the gain is back to normal. You know, I made very minimal changes here, but with a little effort, very fantastic changes can be made. The microphone position can be changed, a stereo rig can be designed to play riffs, a rig with ping-pong delay can be created to play solo sections. You know, it all depends on your creativity and playing style. This is scene A. And I switch to scene B. Some of you may know that I'm someone who has used analog setup by this time. So despite all these possibilities, I think that sometimes I'll want to control these effects and blocks individually, you know, in traditional ways. So to do that, there's a stop mode. It's possible to switch to stop mode by clicking the scene text here, as well as pressing these two switches simultaneously. In this mode, you can assign any block to any switch and control it individually. For example, no need to assign the amplifier and the cab to any switch. It will make sense here to assign reverb and delay to separate switches. Let's choose E for reverb and F for delay. And I'm also using an overdrive pedal in front of the amp, and let's assign it to the B. Yeah, that's it. If I press E, it activates the reverb. If I press F, it activates the delay, and we have the overdrive pedal on the B. By the way, it's a very nice feature that the lights turn on in the same color as the effect, so as not to forget which switch controls which effect. But if you still say that you are confused, you can see it more easily by getting the grid view. Scroll up the screen and there it is. You can activate them by touching, which is great. So let's save this preset again. Just click on the save button. If you want to share this preset on the app, it's very easy to do. Click on the preset name, drag it to the copy cloud. That's it. So let's open the Cortex mobile application right away and see. And we can also add a description about this preset. You know, it gives an idea to the people what includes this preset and how it sounds like. And I can also upload my captures as well. Okay guys, I tried to explain most basic features of this device, and there are so many features that you can realize as you use it. So actually, I have no experience with the products of manufacturers like Camper, Fractal, but if you consider the difference in technology and the product strategy, I think this is really versatile piece of gear. You know, Neural DSP team has already proven itself in the plugin world in a very short time. I'm not saying that because I'm their artist. You know, I became an artist because I liked their plugins before I started using them, and they have done really great job in this regard. One of the important thing is that Neural DSP gives great importance to user experience. You know, just like Apple. In all of this production process, our recommendations are always added or fixed in seriously, and it's going to be like that. I don't think that such interactive communication is provided by other brands, right? So I think this is really important thing. Okay guys, hope you like this video. So please write your thoughts about this unit in the comment section below, and thank you for watching. See you next time.